everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm thrilled to be here with Jeff Kuo, who's the CFO of Brilliant Earth and has been there since its founding. Just a show of hands, how many of you are familiar with Brilliant Earth? Purchasers? Not yet. I like that. And what about you? Okay, well, after this, you're going to learn more, and hopefully there's some clicks that's going on. You can go to the showroom on right near my house on 21st and 5th and go check it out. For those of you who don't know, Brilliant Earth was founded in 2005 to modernize and disrupt a traditional industry, the jewelry industry. It's a large industry with around $60 billion in sales. Brilliant Earth is mission-driven with their consumer, having a very clear approach that's centered around sustainability, transparency, and inclusivity. I'm thrilled to be here with Jeff to tell us more about what's differentiated and what the go-forward looks like for Brilliant Earth. Jeff, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
For those who are not as familiar with Brilliant Earth, would you tell us a little bit about the story?
Sure. We were founded as a mission-driven company around the values of sustainability, transparency, and inclusivity. Brilliant Earth is really disrupting the space, as Dana said, as a premium jeweler for today's consumer. I think there are a number of areas that we're really differentiated, including our brand, our experience, and our business model. So starting with the brand, I think we have an authentic, mission-driven brand and really resonating with today's millennial and Gen Z shoppers. On the experience side, we offer a seamless omni-channel experience for people to shop when they want, where they want, whether it's in one of our 37 showrooms, on our industry-leading digital platform, or other channels that they may engage with us, and they can do so in a really integrated and seamless way. And then in terms of our business model, we have a very asset-light, data-driven, and technology-supported business model that allows us to nimbly navigate through a variety of different environments, make decisions quickly, make changes that are consumer-facing quickly, and really adapt to situations and consumer demand as we see them. And I think that really differentiates us and has allowed us to grow and be profitable and gain share throughout the years of our existence.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about the market opportunity. So you're a disruptor, you're tech-enabled, you're asset-light.
Yeah, so it is globally about a $300 billion jewelry industry. So it's a very large industry that is fragmented. It's about 2/3 of the industry is smaller independents. And so it's relatively unique in the space in that there's such a large degree of fragmentation. So the market opportunity for us is really large in being a premium branded player. And so what we've been able to do is to just really cultivate and grow that premium brand and resonate with today's consumer that's really looking for authenticity and resonance in the brands that they're shopping with. There's a lot of recognition for and thought behind where the products are coming from. And so the transparency that we offer in our supply chain, visibility into where the products are coming from, that's really important to today's jewelry consumers. We also cater to both the proposer and the proposee in terms of our bridal jewelry, and just really couples are increasingly shopping together, and we offer an experience that really caters to both. And so I think this all resonates with our consumers and has allowed us to really gain share and really continue to disrupt in the space.
Thank you. Now, tell us about the product, one of the most exciting parts of the business.
Yeah, the product is, you see an example here of our Soul collection, beautifully crafted, trend-leading products that we offer that really across engagement, wedding, fine jewelry, and they're proprietary designs to us. And so this is something that we offer. We're able to also leverage our network of suppliers to offer vast selection of beyond conflict-free natural origin diamonds of traceable known origins that are amplified by blockchain to provide additional visibility into their origin. We are also one of the first retailers to offer lab diamonds. And so we really offer a breadth of selection across jewelry, diamonds, and gemstones to cater to what customers are looking for.
I think one of the most exciting things about product is the continued opportunity in new categories like fine jewelry.
Yeah, and fine jewelry has been an area where we've been really growing tremendously. We were able to offer increasing pendants, bracelets, earrings, including the example here, which is our Soul collection, which some of you may know. We launched recently. This has been a collection that was a couple of years in the making. So really a lot of thought went into the crafting and curation of these designs. We launched it recently with Camilla Morrone as the face of the campaign. And this is an example of really the quality and the craftsmanship of the fine jewelry assortment. And we're excited about the opportunity here because it's a smaller part of our business. But as we grow here, there's a lot of opportunity to grow repeat behavior, grow customer lifetime value. And so it's an exciting complement that grows upon our bridal heritage.
And it's interesting with bridal that it seems like over the next 3 years, given what happened with COVID and the delays in engagements, there's opportunity going forward.
There's a lot of opportunity going forward. Bridal is a long, enduring tradition. As you mentioned, during COVID in 21 and the earlier parts of 22, we did see some above average rates of engagement. And right now we're in a little bit more of a below average rate of engagement, but we expect that as we move into 2024, we expect to see some more of that normalization of the engagement rate. And even in this environment, we've been able to significantly gain share. We've grown in Q3 at 1,000 basis points faster than the industry overall. I think we're really well positioned to gain share, grow disproportionately, and as we see more of that normalization of the bridal growth rate overall in the industry, there'll be a tailwind to us, and we're excited about the opportunity coming up.
Well, the other thing to be excited about, so for those of you who haven't seen a Brilliant Earth showroom, there is one here in New York. Showrooms are an expanding part of your business in addition to digital.
Yes, they are. And we actually now have 2 locations in New York. We've got the one in Flatiron, as you mentioned, and we also have a beautiful showroom in Brooklyn. And so we think that the omni-channel experience is very complementary to what we're able to offer digitally. We do offer this really seamless experience, so you can go between the online shopping experience, the showroom experience, and you can move, and we have a lot of data behind that, and it's a integrated experience for the customer, however you're shopping with us in whatever channel. And that really unlocks a significant amount of uplift in the metros where we open. So when we open showrooms, we're thinking about the incrementality and what additional uplift we can drive across the entire metro. And we've seen very strong results there in terms of when we open a showroom across the entirety of the metro, we see a significant uplift in bookings. And so really unlocks a lot of the demand that's already there from the awareness that we have across the country. It's accretive to our revenue growth. It's accretive to our customer acquisition economics. And so it's just a really compelling way for people to experience the brand and for us to drive incremental growth in a very efficient way.
How many showrooms are there now, and what do you see as the expansion plans?
We have 37 showrooms right now across the United States, and those are in a variety of different metropolitan areas. Some of the recent things that we've done, and I know that you and I have talked about, are we've seen growing success in some of our new formats. We've, in the relatively recent past, expanded to ground floor, outdoor shopping center locations. We've opened our first 3 locations in indoor malls recently, and that's really about opening these showrooms where people are shopping in these different metro areas. And we've also recently done more clustering of showrooms where we have multiple showrooms in a given metro area, and that really amplifies the brand awareness across a metro area. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us. We're still in the earlier stages of opening showrooms, and we think that these unlocks that we see, the ability to amplify our existing appointment-driven model with ability to serve more customers on a walk-in basis, are really exciting and compelling for us.
Look forward to seeing those Brilliant Earth showrooms as I go around the country.
Absolutely.
Tell us about data. The data capabilities that you have are very productive. How do you see them in driving engagement, the advancement and enhancement of the business model, and also customer activation?
It's very fundamental to how we operate, is using data, technology to understand and make the right decisions. So that, one example that we've talked about before is our price optimization engine. So this is something that is proprietary to us. It allows us to take a variety of different inputs, whether it's industry performance, consumer demand, input costs, seasonality, and allows us to dynamically and in a very granular fashion think about how do we price our products in a way to drive right combination of top line growth and gross margin percentage. And that's something that allows us to really be nimble. It couples well with our asset light model to allow us to price correctly for what we see in the market and how to drive the best performance for the business. And I think that that really differentiates us. It's been a key driver of how we've been able to drive our strong gross margins, which in the third quarter were over 58%, and really will continue to be a differentiator for us going forward.
And brand affinity is something that continues to be growing. Any measurements of brand affinity or how you're thinking of building that brand affinity?
Yeah, we're pleased to see the success in growing the awareness of the Brilliant Earth brand. And some of the metrics that we've shared are both aided and unaided brand awareness. So we earlier this year talked about our aided brand awareness, which is in the mid-60s% and a significant growth from what we reported around the time of our IPO. And then we've also recently talked about our unaided brand awareness doubling from our prior measurements. So we look at these as really successful indicators that the efforts and investments that we're making in investing in our brand and driving awareness are paying off. And I think this is been beneficial for us, and there's significant opportunity that remains ahead.
And another differentiating factor of you and Brilliant Earth is the fact that traditionally the jewelry industry is very slow turns, maybe 1 times in terms of inventory turns. That is not the case with Brilliant Earth.
That's right. Our most recent inventory turns have been 5 times turns. So that's a significant increase versus the industry overall. How we're able to do that is, one, our use of data and our ability to really look at what we should be efficiently having on our balance sheet. And another is our ability to leverage virtual inventory. So we've talked about this before. I know you and I have, that a lot of our inventory is virtual. So if you look at the vast assortment of diamonds that we have on our site, the bulk of those are not on our balance sheet and not physically with us, but they're with our network of trusted suppliers. We're able to bring those in quickly when we have orders come in or customers want to see them on their appointments. And so that's one way that we're able to offer a breadth of assortment while reducing our balance sheet exposure. And then we also have a very agile product development cycle. So as we see trends that we think are compelling, we're able to quickly develop products to meet those trends and launch products efficiently and react to what we're seeing in the market. So all of that really helps us drive very compelling inventory turns that are many times above the industry average.
So wrapping it in a bow, with the unaided brand, with the brand affinity and awareness, with the showroom growth, the faster inventory turns, what you mentioned about gross margin, tell us about the long-term growth targets.
Yeah, so in terms of long-term growth targets, we've talked about a number of different dimensions. For example, our revenue growth we see in the high 20s to low 30s as a growth rate. And so that's something that is a compelling opportunity for us ahead. Our gross margin long-term targets we talked about in the mid-50s%, and we're actually have been running a little bit above that. And in terms of an adjusted EBITDA margin, we've seen that in the 15 to 20% plus range in our long-term algorithm.
And how does seasonality impact your business?
So people get married and engaged throughout the year. There is a bit of an increase in Q4 and over the holidays, but it's something that's happening year-round. And then there are also holidays like Valentine's Day, Christmas, Mother's Day that are big gifting occasions for fine jewelry. And so as a result, we have some modest seasonality in the business, with Q4 being seasonally the biggest quarter for us. And then based on that, the way that we think about things like our employee expenses and our rent expenses, we don't typically have a large seasonal surge of those in Q4, for example, and those expenses grow on more of a steady state basis throughout the year as we expand.
Got it. And exiting 2023, thoughts on consumer health and future as your game plan evolves?
Yeah, we're excited about what lies ahead. We think that the investments that we've been making in brand, in growing the omni-channel experience, the success that we're having in fine jewelry, really position us well as we get to more of a normalization that we anticipate that will begin in 2024 in the jewelry and in the engagement space. And we think that will be a nice tailwind to complement the investments and the success that we've had in terms of growing, and we're excited about what lies ahead.
Thank you. I don't know, Dan, do we take questions or?
We'll take one or two questions for you. That'd be great.
Any questions?
Yes, sir?
Oh, no, go on.
What have you done with retail investor shareholders?
Yeah, so being at an event like this, we're pleased to be here. I think what we are trying to do is just really make sure that people are understanding the disruptive story that we have and how different and unique that we are in the space. And I think that between the things that we've talked about today, I think there's a long and exciting road ahead for us in terms of being able to drive long-term growth in the jewelry industry overall. And we've been able to do so profitably, and we're excited to continue to get the story out to the investor community.
When did the company become profitable?
So we've been profitable. We've been profitable throughout our 9 quarters as a public company, and so that's something that I think really differentiates us in that we've been growing, and in all of our publicly reported quarters, we've been positive adjusted EBITDA. And so that's something that I think differentiates us in terms of that, complemented with our strong balance sheet with no net debt. I think that really allows us to differentially invest and gain share.
Given that we're going through a very difficult period with inflation, how has your margin expansion been throughout the last few quarters, and how do you think you can combat inflation going to the next few quarters?
Yeah, so one of the things that we like about our asset-light and data-driven model is that we're able to adapt to conditions as they evolve. And so the price optimization engine that I mentioned earlier is something that allows us to take into account a variety of different things, including input costs. And as those change, we're able to adjust our pricing dynamically to adapt to those conditions that we see. And so we're able to move much more quickly than the industry overall. And so it's something that I think differentiates us and allows us to operate well in a variety of different environments.
Have you seen volume move up and down with the pricing, or is it growing in terms of volume? Or?
Yeah, we've grown. So in terms of our order growth over the last quarter in Q3, we had a 17% order growth. And so this is something that really, I think, speaks to the resonance that we're having with consumers and how people are engaging with and really excited about being Brilliant Earth customers. Thank you.
You spoke a little bit about your price optimization. Are you also thinking about price elasticities at a granular level, and given on the other side of that with input costs and the extreme volatility in precious metals, is your hedging program also tied to your price optimization on equipment?
Yeah, the input costs are an important input into the price optimization engine, and we are able to adapt to different conditions. With respect to volatility and changes in things like metal prices, say that over the period that we've been public, and we have seen fluctuations and changes in metal prices like gold and platinum prices. And throughout that, we've been able to grow our gross margins. And I think that really speaks to a variety of things, including the effectiveness of our price optimization engine to adapt to different conditions, but also of the strength of our brand and the success of other efforts that we've made in that space, such as looking at procurement efficiencies and things like our enhanced extended warranty program. Thank you.
Jeff, I want to thank you very much for joining us today. I want to thank all of you for being here and thank Dan and Shannon for putting on this event. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.